Well, hello my beautiful and amazing crafters. Welcome to another video of Crafting with Shaneda. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to assemble these cute mini coloring books just in time for your next event. Alright, let's get started. So I'm going to begin in Canva and start a new template. The template size is a full sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11 inches. So for today's coloring book, I don't want it to be a full size coloring book. Kind of want it to be a mini coloring book, and I want to be able to get 2 pages on one full sheet of paper. So in order to do that, I want to get my sizing. So I'm going to create a template for the coloring pages that is sized at 8.5 by 5 by 5 inches. So that way, once I create my template and create my coloring pages, I know that 2 will fit on one sheet of paper. So I'm going to keep this full sheet of page template open, and I'm going to create a second template that's sized just for the individual coloring page. So I created a second template and I sized it 8.5 by 5 inches. And this would represent just one of the coloring pages. So I want to start with the cover and the back sheet, and I'm going to make this a inside out theme coloring book. So I'm just going to search Google for some images. So I found some pages on Google, and I'm just going to copy and paste them to represent the coloring pages. I needed one more additional page, so I just went to Elements and just typed in Kids Color Page and just found some outline images to include. For the main page, I'm just going to copy and paste this image that I found on Google. This will be for just tutorial purposes only. I don't plan on selling this, so I'm just going to use this for my own personal use. So when I'm aligning the cover sheet, the design on the right will be the front, and the design on the left will be the back page. So this will be the cover sheet, and this will be the interior first page of the coloring book, and this would be the back page. So now that I have all my images to create the coloring book, I have a total of 6 pages. The first and the second page are going to be the front cover, the back cover, and this will be the inside cover. Pages 3, 4, 5, and 6 I'm going to print on back and front, and these will be the coloring pages of the book. So now that I have my 6 pages, I'm going to click on the share option, and I'm going to go down to download, and I'm going to download these 6 images as a PNG. Now I'm going to go back to my full sheet of paper template and upload those PNG images by going over to upload and upload files, and bring those images where I have saved on my computer's desktop. So I'm going to bring in the first page, and it's going to be again 8 by 5 by 5.5 inches. Then I'll bring in the second page and do the same thing, and same with the coloring pages. And I'm not going to do that with the coloring pages as well. I'm going to click on this share button, and now I'm going to save this as PDF files. Go to download, I'll do PDF standard, and I'll save those 3 pages and click done. It's my 3 pages I'm going to send to my inkjet printer. So let me show you how I set this up. So the coloring pages are going to print differently than my cover sheet. So for my cover sheet, page 1, I'm going to go to pages and choose custom because I just want to print page 1. And I want to use glossy paper, glossy photo paper. So I'm going to change my settings to get the best quality and make sure I don't have any ink that's going to smear or bleed. So I'm going to use my photo paper settings. I do have a video on using the correct settings to keep from ink from smearing on your glossy paper. I'll have it listed here if you want to check that out. But for my glossy paper, I like to use the photo paper option or glossy HP glossy paper option or HP photo paper option since I have an HP printer. And I use best as my print quality. So I'm going to go ahead and print that out, just page 1 on glossy photo paper. For my coloring pages themselves, I like to just use copy paper. You can use cardstock if you would like, but I like to use copy paper. And page 2 and page 3, I'm going to print on both sides. So I'm going to go back to my printer icon. Under pages, I'm going to custom again and just print page 2 and 3. And then under more settings, I'm going to print on both sides. And for this project, it will be on the long edge. This setting here, you might have to play around with your particular printer to get it to print out correctly, because if you choose the wrong edge, it will be upside down when you go to print it out. So for me, the long edge when I'm doing a coloring book is what works the best. And then I'll go ahead and hit print and change the settings. For this, I'm not going to change the quality of the ink, so I'm going to just go ahead and hit print. The items that I'm going to be using for today's project is a long neck stapler, a pair of scissors, and as well as a paper slicer. For the cover of my coloring book, I'll be using glossy photo paper. And the coloring pages, I'll be just using regular copy paper. I like this particular photo paper because it's not too thick and it doesn't jam in my inkjet printer. When it comes to my particular inkjet printer, I have to print the pages face down. You would have to play around with your settings to know what works for your printer, but I need to place the glossy paper face down. In my printer, I just feed one at a time to keep it from jamming. Alright, so now that the coloring pages are all printed out, back and front, I'm going to just fold it in half. And just using my paper slicer, or you could use a pair of scissors, I'm just going to cut at the creased line. I'm going to do the same thing for the cover sheet, just cut that in half. And now I'm going to crease the front and back cover of the mini coloring book. You can use your little brayer tool to make a nice sharp crease. And I'm going to do the same thing for the first 2 pages. Now I'm going to crease all of the coloring pages. So so I can staple everything together. Now that I have all the pages, I'm going to use my long neck stapler to staple all the pages together. And I'm just going to take my time so that way I get that staple right on or very close to that crease as possible. And I will have a link of all the items that I used in the description box below. And I'll also list a few of my coloring book page videos I have made prior for reference as well. I really like making the mini coloring books because, especially if you're going to have a large party event, you could get a lot of coloring books without using so much paper. So these are great party favors. I will have an in-depth updated coloring book tutorial coming up. We're working on a party in a few months for Faith for her birthday, and we're still deciding what the party theme is. So once I have that video up, look out for notifications so you can follow along on my updated coloring book tutorial, very detailed step by step. But for today's video, I hope this was very helpful. I hope you give this a try. Make sure to tag us on your next event or party favors that you made. We love seeing what our Crafty with Shaneda family makes. Well, I hope you learned a little bit or a lot, and we cannot wait to see you on the next video of Crafting with Shaneda. Happy crafting!